The massive view screen in Earth Defense Command Center flickered to life, revealing a sight humanity had both dreaded and anticipated for generations. Commander Elena Reyes felt her breath catch as the radar display transformed from its usual orderly pattern of satellites and space debris into a chaotic swarm of incoming objects. The objects moved with unmistakable purpose. "Confirmation, please," she said, her voice steady despite the adrenaline flooding her system. Lieutenant Quaim Osei's fingers flew across his console. "Confirmed, Commander. 347 unknown craft entering the solar system. Formation suggests artificial origin. They're passing Neptune's orbit now." The command center fell silent. Humanity had wondered for centuries if they were alone in the universe. Today, they had their answer. "Alert status Alpha," Elena ordered. "Notify all global defense forces and contact the Security Council immediately." As chaos erupted around her, Elena studied the approaching formation. Their trajectory aimed directly for Earth, not a scientific expedition making a casual visit. This was something else entirely. Admiral Jackson Chen entered the command center, his weathered face grave. "What are we looking at, Commander?" "First contact, sir. But they're not coming slowly or announcing themselves. They're approaching in attack formation." The Admiral nodded. "I was afraid of this. Humanity's luck couldn't hold forever." Within hours, every military base worldwide was on high alert. Fighter pilots sat in cockpits, missile defense systems powered up, and naval vessels moved into strategic positions. But Earth's combined military might consisted of just 42 orbital defense platforms and a handful of space-capable fighters, pathetically inadequate against hundreds of advanced alien craft. Dr. Maya Patel rushed into the command center, her lab coat flapping behind her. As Earth's leading xenobiologist, she had prepared for this moment her entire career. "Any communication?" she asked breathlessly. "Nothing yet," Elena replied. "But they've slowed near Mars' orbit, possibly preparing for the next phase." As if on cue, every screen in the command center flickered. A face appeared. At least, they assumed it was a face. The being had silvery skin with no visible hair. Its eyes were large, solid black orbs without pupils, and when it spoke, its mouth barely moved. "People of Earth," the creature said in perfectly unaccented English, "I am Grand Marshal Exor of the Caltharian Empire. Your primitive world now falls under our dominion. You have 48 Earth hours to surrender all governmental control. Resistance will result in planetary sterilization." The screen went black. "How did they speak English?" Lieutenant Osei whispered. "Translation technology," Dr. Patil answered. "Any civilization capable of interstellar travel would have developed it. But that's hardly our biggest concern right now." Admiral Chen grabbed a secure phone. "Get me the president." In the farming community of Harvest Plains, Nebraska, Sarah Jensen watched the emergency broadcast with her family. Her husband, Michael, a former Air Force mechanic, sat stone-faced as their children huddled against them. "What does it mean, Dad?" 12-year-old Elijah asked. Michael put an arm around his son. "It means we need to be brave, buddy." Sarah exchanged a glance with her husband. They both knew what an invasion would mean. She squeezed her children tighter. At Edwards Air Force Base, Captain James Rodriguez climbed into his F-35 Lightning. He had no illusions about what would happen if these aliens attacked. Their craft could cross interstellar space. His jet couldn't even leave the atmosphere. But he would fly anyway, because that's what humans did. They fought impossible odds. Back at Defense Command, Dr. Patel noticed something strange on one of the monitoring stations. "Commander, look at these energy readings from the alien flagship." Elena studied the display. "What am I looking at?" "Their energy signature is fluctuating. See how it pulses. That's not normal for a stable power source. It's almost as if..." Her voice trailed off. "As if what?" "As if it's reacting to something. Some kind of interference." Before Elena could respond, Lieutenant Osei called out, "Commander, 5 alien craft breaking formation. They're heading toward Earth's atmosphere. Everyone in the command center watched as the 5 ships descended. The room fell silent as the crafts entered the upper atmosphere over the Pacific Ocean. Then, without warning, all 5 blips on the radar simply vanished. Did we lose them? Admiral Chen demanded. Negative, sir, replied the radar technician. All systems functioning normally. The ships just disappeared. In her laboratory adjoining the command center, Dr. Patel's instruments suddenly registered a massive spike in Earth's electromagnetic field. The surge had occurred precisely where the ships had vanished. That's not possible, she whispered, checking the readings again. Word of the vanishing ships spread quickly through Earth's defense network. In the White House Situation Room, military advisors exchanged confused glances as the president demanded explanations no one had. On the Caltharian flagship, Grand Marshal Exor stared at the empty space on his tactical display where 5 scout ships should be. Scan again, he ordered, his silver skin darkening with anger. We have, Grand Marshal, repeatedly, his second-in-command replied. The ships are simply gone. That's impossible. Nothing can defeat Caltharian technology. His science officer approached cautiously. Grand Marshal, our historical records contain a warning about this sector, specifically about the 3rd planet. What warning? The details are vague, sir, just that this region should be avoided. Exor slammed his fist against his command chair. Superstitious nonsense. Send 10 more ships. Arm all weapons. On Earth, people reacted to the alien threat in diverse ways. Some prayed, some rioted, others said tearful goodbyes to loved ones. But in Defense Command, Dr. Patel made a startling discovery. Admiral, Commander, look at this, she said, pointing to her monitor. I've analyzed Earth's electromagnetic field where those ships vanished. There's something unique about our planet's EM field. When it interacted with their technology, it created what appears to be a quantum disturbance. What are you saying? Elena asked. I'm saying Earth itself might be naturally hostile to their technology. Before anyone could process this information, Lieutenant Osai called out, 10 more alien ships descending. They're armed according to our scans. Everyone watched breathlessly as the second wave of ships entered Earth's atmosphere. Just like before, they flickered on radar, then simply vanished. It happened again, Admiral Chen said in disbelief. The effect isn't consistent everywhere, Dr. Patel noted, studying her readings. It seems stronger in certain regions where Earth's magnetic field has natural anomalies. In rural China, farmer Lin Wei was tending his crops when he saw something impossible. A massive alien craft appeared in the sky above his fields, shimmering like a mirage. It seemed to flicker in and out of existence before disappearing completely. Lin dropped his tools and ran to tell others what he had witnessed. Similar reports flooded in from around the world. Civilian videos showed alien ships appearing briefly before fading away like ghosts. Dr. Alexander Petrov, a geophysicist at Moscow University, contacted Defense Command with crucial information. Your theory about Earth's magnetic field is correct, he told Dr. Patel over a secure video link. I've been studying these anomalies for years. Earth's field is unusually strong and behaves in ways that defy conventional physics. Could it be artificial? Dr. Patel asked. I've always suspected it might be, Dr. Petrov replied. The patterns are too regular, too structured for a purely natural phenomenon. On the Caltharian flagship, Grand Marshal Exor faced mounting pressure from his officers. Grand Marshal, his second-in-command ventured, perhaps we should withdraw. Something about this planet is different. Exor's skin flushed nearly black with rage. The Caltharian Empire does not retreat. We have conquered 37 worlds. This primitive rock will not defeat us. He turned to his weapons officer. Prepare the entire fleet for planetary bombardment. If we cannot land, we will destroy them from orbit. As the remaining Caltharian fleet positioned for attack, they encountered more problems. Targeting systems malfunctioned. power systems fluctuated wildly. Meanwhile, Dr. Patel worked frantically with a global team of scientists to understand Earth's mysterious protection. Professor Hiroshi Tanaka from Tokyo University made a breakthrough when he discovered ancient cave paintings depicting similar phenomena. These drawings show sky vessels being absorbed by the Earth, he explained, sharing images dated to over 15,000 years ago. They appear across disconnected ancient cultures, from Japan to Peru to Egypt. You're saying this has happened before? Dr. Patel asked. Many times, apparently. And look at this. He showed her a stone tablet from Mesopotamia. This cuneiform text describes sky demons who came to conquer but were swallowed by the Earth's spirit. As scientists pieced together the historical evidence, the Caltharians launched their full-scale attack. Hundreds of ships descended toward Earth's major cities. Military forces worldwide prepared for what they assumed would be humanity's last stand. But as each ship entered Earth's atmosphere, the same phenomenon occurred. Some vanished instantly. Others flickered in and out of existence before disappearing completely. A few managed to reach lower altitudes before being swallowed by what appeared to be localized distortions in spacetime. In Defense Command, a cheer went up as the radar showed ship after ship vanishing. But Alina and Dr. Patil exchanged concerned glances. What exactly is happening to them? Alina asked quietly. I don't know, Dr. Patil admitted. They're not being destroyed, at least not in the conventional sense. They're being displaced somehow. A strange transmission suddenly broke through on all frequencies. The voice was Caltharian, but distorted, fragmented, trapped between, not dead but endless void, helpless. Then silence. Grand Marshal Exor watched in horror as his mighty invasion force dwindled before his eyes. Ship after ship vanished upon approaching the seemingly defenseless blue planet. Retreat, he finally ordered, his voice hollow. Full retreat. The remaining Caltharian ships frantically pulled away from Earth, accelerating toward the edge of the solar system. But several more vanished before they could escape, caught in invisible tendrils of Earth's mysterious defense system. As the immediate threats subsided, humanity began to process what had occurred. Instead of devastating defeat, they had witnessed an inexplicable victory. Earth itself had protected them. In the days that followed, strange phenomena were reported worldwide. Electronic devices malfunctioned and repaired themselves. Compasses spun wildly before settling. Most disturbing were the whispers. People around the world reported hearing faint, unintelligible voices at the edge of perception. In her lab, Dr. Patil studied a piece of alien metal found in the Sahara Desert, the only physical evidence of the Caltharian ships. When examined under an electron microscope, the metal showed impossible properties, existing partially out of phase with normal matter. It's like it's halfway between dimensions, she explained to Commander Reyes. Not fully in our reality anymore. You mean they're not dead? Elena asked. I don't think so. I think they're trapped somewhere between dimensions. And I think it's happened before, many times throughout Earth's history. As night fell over Defense Command, Elena looked up at the stars, wondering what other secrets Earth might be hiding, and what this event meant for humanity's place in the universe. One thing was certain. The galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. 3 weeks after the failed Caltharian invasion, the world had changed irrevocably. Humanity had confirmed they were not alone in the universe and discovered their planet possessed a natural defense system beyond their understanding. Commander Elena Reyes now headed the newly formed Planetary Defense Initiative, coordinating global efforts to understand Earth's mysterious protection. In a converted airplane hangar in Nevada, Dr. Maya Patel led an international team of scientists studying the phenomenon that had saved humanity. The cavernous space buzzed with activity as researchers from dozens of countries collaborated on what many considered the most important scientific investigation in human history. We've mapped the complete pattern of Earth's electromagnetic field anomalies, announced Dr. Tanaka, pointing to a holographic globe where swirling patterns of light represented the invisible forces surrounding their planet. The field is strongest at these nodal points, which correspond perfectly with locations where Caltharian ships vanished. And look at this, added Dr. Petrov, overlaying another map. These nodes align with ancient sites, Stonehenge, the Nazca Lines, the Egyptian pyramids, Angkor Wat. Elena studied the patterns. You're saying our ancestors knew about this? They didn't just know, Dr. Paddle replied. I think they were actively involved. She displayed images of ancient artifacts recovered from archaeological sites worldwide. These objects share a common design element, a specific geometric pattern that resonates with Earth's field frequency. Are you suggesting ancient humans built Earth's defense system? Elena asked incredulously. Not exactly, Dr. Paddle said. I think they maintained it. The system itself appears to be much older than human civilization. The implications were staggering. Either Earth had naturally evolved an extraordinary defense mechanism, or something, or someone, had engineered it long before humans walked the planet. Meanwhile, in the White House Situation Room, President Harriet Rivera met with international leaders via secure video link. The world's most powerful individuals looked both relieved and concerned. The immediate threat has passed, President Rivera acknowledged, but we must prepare for repercussions. The Caltharians might return with technology adapted to our defenses. Or worse, added the Russian president, other alien civilizations might come investigating what happened here. The Brazilian president leaned forward. Our scientists have translated more of the alien communications we intercepted. It appears Earth has a reputation among spacefaring species. We are known as the devouring world, or the ship eater. Most civilizations avoid our solar system entirely. Then why did the Caltharians attack? Asked the German chancellor. Arrogance, perhaps, replied the Chinese premier. They had conquered many worlds. They thought themselves invincible. In rural Nebraska, Sarah Jensen watched her children play in the yard, while military vehicles passed on the nearby highway. Since the invasion attempt, government scientists had established a research facility 5 miles from their farm. The locals had been told it was to study atmospheric anomalies, but everyone knew it had to do with the aliens. Sarah's husband, Michael, had been recruited for his mechanical expertise. He couldn't tell her what he was working on, but his eyes had a new intensity when he returned home each night. They found something, didn't they? She asked him one evening after the children were asleep. Michael hesitated. Nothing I can talk about. But yes, this goes deeper than anyone imagined. On the outskirts of Cairo, an archaeological team made a startling discovery beneath the Giza Plateau, a vast chamber untouched for thousands of years. Its walls were covered with hieroglyphs depicting ships falling from the sky and dissolving into the earth. More importantly, they found devices of unknown origin, constructed from materials not found on Earth. Professor Fatima Al-Zahawi immediately contacted Dr. Paddle. These artifacts are emitting electromagnetic pulses identical to those we recorded during the Caltharian disappearances, she reported. And they seem to be powering up on their own. Similar discoveries soon followed. In China's Xiangxi region, beneath Uluru in Australia, deep in the Amazon rainforest, and under the ice in Antarctica. At each location, ancient structures house technology beyond human understanding, all suddenly activating after millennia of dormancy. At Defense Command, Lieutenant Osi made another breakthrough. Commander, we've detected a signal from deep space, he reported. It appears to be a response to the frequencies emitted by the activated artifacts. Who's responding? Elena asked. Unknown, but the signal originates from the direction of Tau Ceti. The mystery deepened when NASA's Deep Space Telescopes detected massive movement in that sector, dozens of ships changing course, moving away from Earth's solar system. In Nevada, Dr. Patel's team made their most significant discovery yet. While examining a fragment of Caltharian technology, they detected quantum signatures indicating it existed partially in another dimension. More shocking were the faint life signs emanating from the fragment. They're not dead, Dr. Paddle explained to a stunned room of officials. The Caltharians, and possibly every other alien who's ever attacked Earth, exist in a kind of dimensional limbo. Not fully here, not fully gone. Are you saying Earth has a prison dimension? Admiral Chen asked. More like a quarantine zone, Dr. Patel replied. And it's been collecting hostile visitors for what appears to be millions of years. President Rivera authorized an unprecedented operation, using the ancient artifacts to attempt communication with whatever intelligence might be behind Earth's defense system. Teams at all 7 discovered sites synchronized their efforts, activating the devices simultaneously. For 30 seconds, nothing happened. Then, every electronic device worldwide flickered as a massive energy wave circled the planet. In Nevada, the air inside the research facility seemed to thicken, shimmer, and coalesce into a vaguely humanoid shape composed of swirling energy. Dr. Patel approached it cautiously. "Can you understand us?" she asked. The figure didn't speak. Instead, images flooded the minds of everyone present. Earth as it was billions of years ago, a lush world being seeded with primitive life by beings of pure energy. These beings had left behind a protection system to ensure their experiment wouldn't be disturbed. Earth wasn't just a planet. It was a sanctuary, designed to allow life to evolve naturally without interference. The Caltharians hadn't been the first to threaten this sanctuary, nor would they be the last. But the Guardians, for that's how the energy beings thought of themselves, had ensured Earth would remain protected. As the vision faded, the energy being dissipated, leaving behind a single, clear message in everyone's mind. You are ready to know, but not yet ready to control. The implications resonated across humanity. Earth was special, not by accident, but by design. And now that humans understood this, everything changed. In the months that followed, global cooperation reached unprecedented levels. International tensions melted away in the face of humanity's new place in the cosmos. Scientists carefully studied the ancient artifacts, learning to detect and monitor Earth's defense system without attempting to manipulate it. 6 months after the invasion attempt, Earth received its first peaceful alien contact. Representatives from a coalition of species who had long respected Earth's protected status. They approached cautiously, following specific protocols to avoid triggering the defense system. "We have watched your world for centuries," explained the ambassador, a bioluminescent being who communicated through changing patterns of light. "Few worlds are chosen as sanctuaries. Your planet's guardians are among the eldest beings in the galaxy." The ambassador revealed that most spacefaring civilizations knew to avoid Earth, but occasionally, aggressive species like the Caltharians would ignore the warnings with predictable results. "What happened to the Caltharians?" Elena asked. "They exist, but not as they were," the ambassador replied. "The between-space changes those trapped within it. In time, they may evolve into something new, perhaps even join the Guardians themselves." As humanity prepared to take its first careful steps into the galactic community, Sarah Jensen stood in her Nebraska field watching her children play beneath the stars. The universe had turned out to be stranger and more wondrous than anyone had imagined, and Earth's place in it more significant. Michael joined her, putting an arm around her shoulders. "They're saying we might be able to safely send exploratory missions out next year. I've been asked to help design the engines." Sarah smiled. "Just make sure they know how to get back home." In her lab, Dr. Patel studied the latest readings from Earth's defense system. The patterns had changed subtly since they'd made contact with the Guardian, becoming more defined, more precise. It was as if the system had fully awakened after a long dormancy. Commander Elena Reyes stood on the observation deck of Defense Command, watching the stars. Humanity had survived its first contact with hostile aliens, not through military might or technological superiority, but because their world was special in ways they were only beginning to understand. Whatever the future held, one thing was certain. The galaxy now looked at Earth with new eyes, not as a primitive backwater world, but as a place of power and mystery, home to a species now aware of their unique inheritance. And somewhere in the vast cosmos, Other civilizations were spreading the word. Beware the third planet of the yellow star. Its people know what they are now, and they are watching the stars.